Welcome back to the Call It Both Ways podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Tanner.
And I'm Hayden, and we're here to talk about, we got a treat for you, you know?
Yeah, we got some stuff that we got to talk about with sports. Let's roll right into the first segment. We're going to talk about ABS like we did the last few times. We're going to break down some of these calls. As you know, the new system is in place in the MLB. They've got that AI recognition system for the balls and strikes. And let's take a look.
Yeah, let's look at this thing. ABS celebration of the day right here. We got 1,010 calls this week that were incorrect, with 179 of them being overturned. Here are the 10 worst, and only one was overturned out of these 10.
That's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here.
Whoop.
So that one was a little bit out of frame, only 1 inch. What is that?
Yeah, not bad. Okay, strike.
That one was close too.
Yeah.
It was close too. Still outside the box though. Again, outside the box. They're getting closer with these ones.
Yep.
2-2.
Yeah, right there, wide left slightly.
That was a tough one, though.
That one was really high though. That one was only an inch, but still really high.
Oh, wow. Man, imagine getting struck out on that one.
Oh,
Horrible.
that was a horrible call. Yeah, challenge that one. Dude, that's well below his knee.
Almost an inch and a half.
Oh, that was horrible. 2 inches.
1-2 coming.
He's just trying to get out of the ball game. He got a dinner to go to.
That was bottom of the 7th there.
Yeah. Oof. Ah. Wow.
Doggone it, dude.
Dude, it wasn't close on that.
Of course, we're cherry picking with these ones. But you know what?
These are the 10 worst, but
Yeah, I mean, with 1,010 calls this week being missed calls this week, and only, what did we say, 10 of those? 179 being overturned. That's still, I feel like we need to do better than that. That's only like almost 10% of calls, just over 10% of calls are getting overturned.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think you can just you've got to just allow them to challenge as many times as they want, and once you get one challenge wrong, no more challenges the rest of the game. I think that's the solution.
Yeah, and I think we have too many. I don't think we have enough challenges right now. I think 3. What is it? 3 that they get?
You get 3 a game, and then I can't remember how it goes if you lose your challenges, if you get one wrong,
right,
or if you just have 3 a game, and then extra innings you get one new challenge.
I like limiting it in basketball and football, some of those challenges, because it's like it slows the game down so much to have it. But here it's like this takes 10 seconds.
Oh, it's so quick.
Use the AI. They don't have to go to the desk. They don't have to like check in and then make a call about what happened. It's like just we check right there. It's over. It's like let's give them 5.
Let's just use AI. I don't know. That's my thing. Why don't we just use AI?
Just use the AI on it.
But some say it's ruined the sport just because there's so many more walks now. It's a lot more boring. I mean, less hits. I don't know.
They gotta make.
Maybe pitchers will adjust and throw it down, and we'll have more excitement.
They gotta make something happen. But speaking of missed calls, Hayden, why don't you take us to the next side?
Oh yeah, I'm taking you over. We're gonna go look to Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. All right, I'm going to the board. Jimma. All right, so what we got here, we got a play that was ultimately called wrong, by the officials, Tony Brothers, Sean Wright, and James Capers. Pretty obvious call, but we can see how we got to the wrong conclusion. Let's go ahead and play this. Yes, we got De'Aaron Fox. He's coming up. Wemby drives. Oh, off Chet's foot. Tony Brothers can't see it. Sean Wright says it's a thunder ball. Spurs can't believe it. Oh, we're gonna get a little huddle from the officials. Get a little huddle. Yeah. Spurs. Yeah, Castle. How is that thunder ball? Okay, we got a huddle. They're talking about it. Okay. Oh, he's got definite knowledge. We're going Thunder. Wrong choice. All right. And now in this play, let's pause it right here. Let's pause it. Now in this play, I mean, Tony Brothers was originally on the other side as lead. That's his position. And you'll see these quite often in the NBA, where in officiating in general, just these are really tough to see from the opposite side of the court. And the official here at slot or center, they have a clear view of it usually. And so when he asks for help, Sean Wright, the official right here, just says Thunderball, and so Tony Brothers is going to take his word for it. With the outrage, they get a quick huddle. James Capers, kind of causes a huddle. We talk about it. We don't have any knowledge of it going the other way, so we're going to stick with the call. Let's continue this. All right, hands it in. And we got Mitch Johnson mad about something. And we're going to go. We've got Shea drives. We're going to end up with a foul here at the end. Foul called. Look at the fist pump. Fist pump from Mitch Johnson. Cannot believe it. He's teed up by Tony Brothers. It's just an avoidable situation that could have happened as we continue watching this. Yeah, he's mad. We're going to get a replay here soon. But he tried to challenge the call right before it was handed in after the huddle. Because he was going to challenge it, and then we had the huddle. He said, it's going to get reversed. And then all of a sudden, it's still going Thunderball, and he can't believe it. And so he tries to hurry and challenge it. James Capers doesn't see him, is what he says was the explanation from the referee. Let's look at this. Challenge it. Hey. Yeah, there was no recognition on Capers' part. And the whole bench is doing it. Anyway, so it's a tough play. Ultimately, was an incorrect call by the officials. But, I mean, recent reports from Adam Silver will be having more AI. AI will be able to come in and take over some of the out-of-bounds calls and maybe some other objective calls that might be included, like like goaltends or things like that. So I'm going back to the board. I'm going back to the desk.
Welcome back to the desk, Hayden.
Hey, it's good to be back.
We're going to move right into the next segment, and this comes in a time long past where the dinosaurs still roamed the earth.
But basketball was being played.
That's true. And you know what? Sliced bread was also invented.
But LeBron James hadn't yet come into his kingdom.
And you know what? Neither had Jordan. Jordan hadn't played basketball yet. So
no debate.
No debate yet. An old time. This happened soon after we had the new three-point line implemented in the NBA. They had also implemented the new rule of you could advance the ball past half court on a timeout. So Hayden, tell us about it.
Yeah. So this rule, interesting rule. We had you have a free throw coming. It's the last one, so if it misses, you can go get the rebound. Not very much time on the clock. And so what happened on this particular play, the free throw was in the air, and the defender, the defensive team went up and grabbed it midair, goaltended, basically. Yeah, goaltended. Count the one free throw.
So they basically just instead of letting them knock the ball off the rim or off the backboard so that the time continues to run, they stopped the clock right there because it's just goaltend and it counts.
Because the defense knew he was going to miss on purpose. There just wasn't very much time on the clock.
Right.
And so he goes up, goaltends, so no time runs off the clock. Mm-hmm. And then they count that one free throw. They call a timeout, allowing them to advance the ball into the front court.
Yeah.
And then they're able to tie the game or hit the game winner. Which allows them, to take advantage of the rule, making a mockery of the game. And so what the NBA introduced, and it's still a rule today, is if you're shooting your last free throw, it's going to remain in play, meaning it'll be a rebound afterwards. If you goaltend mid-air, then the shooter gets one more free throw. You count that free throw that was goaltended, and they get one more free throw. So no one can, can make a mockery of basketball anymore.
I mean, that was like a little loophole that they had figured out. And that tends to happen when new rules get implemented. So I'm not really surprised that was there. Really smart to find out the strategy on that. Kind of interesting that they figured all of that out. And in that specific scenario, they were prepared. Hey, we're down. They have free throws. We don't want any time to go off the clock, so we're just going to grab the ball, and then we get the ball all the way on the other side of the court with a chance to win.
Yeah.
Whereas, if there's 2 seconds left on the clock, good luck making a full court shot or getting a good look from anywhere close to the basket. But with 2 seconds into the front court, dude, you can make a 3-point. You can get a whole dribble, step into a shot with 2 seconds. I mean, that's not much, but it's enough to make that.
That's exactly what happened too. And so the play rewarded the team that broke the rule.
Yeah.
And the NBA said we're not allowing that to happen again. Change the rule, and you can't do that anymore. Speaking of, I've got a rule that I think should be implemented into the game of basketball. It comes when at the end of a game scenario, when the team's up 3, there's always the debate of should I foul them or should we just play this out? Mm-hmm. Well, why are we rewarding the defense for fouling the team? When they're down 3, when the offense is down 3, why are we rewarding the defense?
I mean, it gives them a chance to come back. I mean, you still have to make your shots when you get fouled.
Well, yeah, but you can't tie the game, and now you're putting the ball back into the winning team, and then they have to get fouled, and they'll make more than likely make the shots.
But I've seen it happen where they didn't make the shots.
Yes.
It all comes down to discipline under pressure. So if you're on the road and you're winning by 3, I mean, you get fouled, and you have to shoot into the defending, fans.
Yeah.
And they're going to be wild and crazy, and they want you to miss. I've seen them miss both.
But nonetheless, it still rewards the offense. It still rewards the team for breaking the rule, for fouling. When up 3.
I mean, it's like an intentional foul is what you're kind of getting at.
An intentional foul. It rewards the team, and there's not enough benefit going back the other way.
Interesting. So what would you say we would implement that?
Here's my solution. I think if the time is less than 24 seconds, and the team is down 3 points, you could specify, or you could say if they're down 3 or more, you can, and the defensive team fouls while in the penalty, then that team gets 3 free throws. If you're not in the penalty yet, then it's just side out. But if you're in the penalty, that team gets 3 free throws, gives them the chance to tie the game like they would have wanted to. Yeah, so that's my opinion on it.
Well, I'm not going to say that I agree with it, but it's an interesting idea. We're going to roll into our next segment. We have with us Nathan Cook, a fellow referee and colleague of Hayden's.
Yes.
We had a chance to interview him here on the set, so let's take a look at that. Welcome back, guys. We're here with a special guest, Nathan Cook. He's a referee, and we're going to have him go ahead and tell us a little bit about himself.
Yeah, so I grew up here in Utah. I've been reffing basketball since I was a teenager, and looking into making that one time a full-time career type stuff. So.
What part of Utah you grew up in?
Lehigh. Yeah, Lehigh. Skyridge High School. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'll put that out now. Now that I'm not reffing, now that I'm not going to ref high school basketball anymore, I'll put that out. So, yeah, Skyridge.
Well, tell us a little bit how long you've been reffing for.
Yeah, so I was 15, started doing some church ball.
Okay.
They just needed a guy, and so they gave me a whistle, and then from that point I was trying to get hired by the City League to do junior jazz. Couldn't get hired because I was only 15, so I had to wait till I was 16, did it for a few years, and then went on my mission, and towards the end of my mission I was super excited, jump back in and start trying to do high school ball. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Wait, so church ball, what was that like? Any heated experiences? I mean, I've been in some church ball games, and I know that they can be. I was yelling at them, My brother got a technical one.
I was the one yelling.
Yeah. It was only me too when I was playing, right? But it was only one or two games, and they were really chilling. All I remember is that I sucked really bad because for me at that time I had no idea what I was doing. So any little touch of the arm, that's a whistle coming in real quick. So. That's how it was for church ball, and then when I started in junior jazz too, you could not touch anybody. I was gonna get you, So
you were trying to penalize these guys.
I was trying to be perfect, really. So yeah.
Well, that's cool. So what leagues are you currently reffing right now?
Cool. Yeah. So this past year, most of my schedule was high school games, and I did a lot in the small college. I had 2 on the men's side in the Scenic West Athletic Conference, which is the local junior college here, and then also out east in Chicago. I had 2 games one was in the NAC, the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, if I remember that right. So that was on the women's side, and then also just a junior college game out there.
Come on, you don't even know the leagues you work in. What the heck?
Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. Look it up. I'm sure that's what it is. NACC. So
How would you say reffing women's basketball to men's basketball like compares? Like what would you say the difference is?
the main difference is like the rules. Like men's, there's a lot more free flow, and then women's is all about, let's control this game. Let's make sure offensive teams are able to like be able to run their sets and be able to get shots up. When men's, it's all about physicality. Like let's let the boys play. Let's let them be physical. So yeah.
Let them do what they want to do. We going to stay out of the ball game.
Yeah, stay out of the ball game as much as you can. Yeah, I guess that's every level, but like women's, there's a lot more control that you need just to make sure that they're able to play through it, because they're able to play through a little bit less contact than the men, just nature of the game. So,
have you reffed with Hayden?
Yeah.
Have we ref together?
Oh my gosh, yeah, probably Hayden more than anyone else now at this point, I'd say. So,
Dude, every week Nate's finding something to do.
So who's the better ref then?
I mean,
Nate's the better referee.
it depends on how you look at it. If it's like current resume, you go me. But if it's like the spot we're in right now in our careers, you got to go Hayden, right? Because Hayden's in the NBA pipeline. So I'm not. I am not. That does mean something.
These guys are so humble. Goodness.
But you're a little bit of a pro referee yourself.
Yeah, I mean, if you could call, yeah. So we're working in the USBL and TBL. I've got a flight out to Portland tomorrow morning. Got a game in Vancouver, and then Seattle on Sunday. So, kind of exploring the pro game, trying to see what it has to offer. Maybe potentially trying to work up through making it to the NBA one day. We'll kind of see where things go there. But the pro system has really kind of caught my attention. It's really helped me to shape my game, because there's a lot of things that they teach you there that you can transfer into a lot of your other games, and so at different levels. So I really like it. The pro game's awesome.
That's cool. What are the biggest differences between? Because I mean, working college and working these pro games is very different. Mechanics wise, and what fouls you call, what fouls you don't call. Is there any difficult transition there in your mind?
I mean, at first, it's I guess it kind of comes like anything, right? You kind of get used to it. So the more you practice switching between different levels, the better you're able to get it, right? So like when you've been doing obviously like high school is still the thing that comes most naturally for me, because I've worked more high school games than I've done any other level, right? So like I can hop on a high school court and know what to do. But then when I hop into like, say, a college women's game, things are a little different. Screens are called a lot closer, that kind of thing. So it's kind of figuring out what they want to see, what they want to see called in the game, and doing as you're told, pretty much. As the bosses want. That's kind of what you do. When in Rome, act as a Roman. So
That's what they say.
yeah.
Dude, and I know even from the college game, just putting your hand up and not putting your hand up in the pro game. I mean, well, the women's is different, but dude, even the small details.
Well, those are the things I still haven't mastered for sure, right? With like when I call a loose ball foul, I'm always boom and then boom when I should just be boop, boop, boom type thing. So it can be tough.
So minute details.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I'm still working on mastering those. Good thing that those aren't like only other like referees are going to notice that kind of stuff. And so I feel like that's not really like putting me behind or anything like that. A lot of people, when I am working in the USB or TBL, they know that I'm new to it. They know that it's something I'm still kind of figuring out, and so they give me a lot of leeway when I call an off it's a foul and I go here and then point type thing, or instead of just pointing, that kind of situation.
So what made you want to get into being a referee? What was kind of your inspiration there?
That's a great question, because there wasn't like a specific like moment where it's like, okay, I kind of want to chase this. I guess like at the end of my mission, I knew that I wanted to, at the same time, go to college. I just graduated from UVU, and then also referee basketball at the same time. There wasn't like a specific like, hey, I want to chase this. It was kind of like I was surrounded by people that were able to bring me to higher level camps, get me excited about the college game, which I really wasn't about originally. It's kind of more just like my network wanted that, and so it kind of just naturally evolved into me wanting that as well. So.
Yeah, so I've heard a lot in a lot of different professions, it's all about the networking. You have to know the right people and kind of be at the right place. So for somebody, for example, for some kids that maybe have aspirations of being a referee one day, maybe they're refereeing at a lower level right now, what would some advice be that you could give to somebody who wants to get to that next level?
That's a great question, because there is so many of these people that I talk about that I'll go ref with, or I'll see them at like a youth gym and they're like, hey, I love this. Like, I would love to do this full time, you know? It's like, well, dude, you can, you know, you just got to put in the work. And it's hard because, like, at first I didn't know. There was a time where I really wanted that, but I didn't know how type situation. And so for some of these people, I would just say, you know, you gotta go up to these bigger officials, go to someone at a high school varsity game. If you're working a JV game, right, go and ask them, and really just kind of build mentors, right? So you can find a mentor that's working high school basketball at the start if you're just working sub-varsity, right? So find someone that's in the varsity level. Try to get them, find someone that's going to be able to take the time to invest in you, right? And then once you kind of catch up to them, once you're mentored by them, you catch up to them. If you're wanting to go far, then, you know, find a new mentor at a higher level, and then just keep kind of chasing. You know, it's okay to jump in to like outgrow mentors and jump from mentor to mentor, right? So, I mean, that's kind of something I've been able to see in my career, where I've kind of caught up to one of my like my early high school mentors, and then I kind of went and found a new one, and then, you know, I'm kind of working at having mentors at the highest level so that they're always pushing me, and I'm hopefully when I catch them, you know, that I've achieved all my goals at that point. So
you're saying find somebody that you can get to mentor you, and you can ask them about how they got to where they are, and figure out the channels where to go, because it's kind of like you have to find those specific like where to go to get trained and things like that. Is that what you're saying?
Totally, exactly like that. Because a lot of the time, like at first when I started, I wanted to get into like the college game, right? I didn't know what camps to go to, you know?
Right.
I didn't know where to sign up or where these things were happening or when they were happening. I had no idea that like my summers were going to turn into, you know, being trained for basketball. Like that would become my entire summer every summer. Like, but I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have someone to help guide me through that had already been through those things and was familiar with like the camp situation and how to get on the different staffs and how to be trained good, right? If I didn't have that, that would have never happened. So you got to find someone that's up at that level, that has gone through it, that knows the ropes and knows what you need to do, and give you advice for the best way that you can handle different camps and different situations.
Okay. And if somebody wanted to reach out to you to, you know, potentially ask some
We can
questions.
plug the email in, yeah, for sure. We'll you want me to say email right now?
I mean, you can.
Yeah, so you can email me anytime, any questions. You know, I'd be happy to connect you with someone that's in your area. You know, I'm moving out. We'll talk.
He knows everyone. He knows everyone. I promise you, this dude is a networking machine.
I really just care. Like, I was at a camp a few years ago, and they were talking about, you know, how we're at a certain level. Me and Hayden, right? We're at the small college level, right? We've still got a long ways to go, but we've also come a long ways, right? Like, we're a lot better than the average, you know, person that you're going to see on a high school varsity game, right? A lot of these people, they're just kind of doing it as volunteers. They're not really trained. Like, they spend their summers with their families, and basketball they don't really care about until they're coming to the gym at like the night. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, we need those people, you know. It's just different, right? They're not putting any work in until they show up at the gym to ref, you know. And for us, it's you know, this is something I put hours into every single day. Yeah, I don't think people understand how much time that we're putting into this type of stuff. It's hours every day. But yeah, I can plug my email in. Like, we're going to talk. I'm moving to Chicago, so we'll talk about that a little bit later, I think. But I still know a lot of people in Utah. So email's Nathan NATHANTC4@gmail.com. So reach out to me if you have any questions. If you're really looking to jump into this and chase the dream and want to referee basketball as a living, because you can do that. There's stupid money involved in this stuff. So if you want to get into that, you know, email me. I'll be happy to answer. So,
Hey, switching gears just a little bit.
oh boy.
I mean, a lot of people, you know, you see the call on the court in the NBA game or March Madness, you know, a foul call or a violation or goaltend, you know. Everyone becomes a referee themselves, you know. They think they put on the stripes, the whistle, and they say, "Oh, that was a bad call. That was a bad call. That was right. That was correct." What's the hardest call to make in the game of basketball?
That's a great question, because my mind immediately goes to out of bounds. Sometimes there's a ball that's like on the ground, it's going off a bunch of different feet, and you have no idea whose foot went off last. But then I realized, like, hey, if I don't know, I just blow my whistle and ask Hayden to make the call, and then it's on him when he gets it wrong. So, so if I don't know, I just say, hey, Hayden, make the call, you know. But no, I was thinking about that. That's like my first initial reaction, but I think it's actually more like some of these drives to the basket. When you're kind of in a bad look, like it's hard to get the right angle sometimes. So if you're responsible for a play that's driving to the basket, it's hard to, you know, fight for your angle. So I'd say like little pushes or little hits from behind when you're on drives to the basket. I feel like those are the toughest plays to get, just because sometimes you can be unlucky. You can be unlucky about where, like, you can do your work to get the right angle, but sometimes it's just not going to happen. You know, sometimes you're just unlucky about where the contact occurs, and you're in a bad spot. You can't blow if you don't have a look. So
Yeah, if you get blocked, that's tough. Your angle. But yeah, a lot of people sometimes say block charge, but those are actually some of the most easy ones to make, because there's a system in place for it. System in place to be watching your defender. Oh, he's legal. Oh, not legal position. Contact. Illegal contact occurs. It's a blocking foul or it's a charge. Whereas, you know, you got these out of bounds, or you got some random player who just kind of gives them a little shove from behind, and it might be hard to see. Yeah, there's not really much of a system in place.
yeah, and along with that, the reason I do feel like those plays are kind of easier, right, like the block charge, because if it's close enough, which a lot of these are, your boss is going to defend you. You know what I'm saying? So 50-50s, sometimes they truly can go both ways. You can get a true 50-50 on some of these, and that can be defended either way if you go offensive foul or if you go block.
I think that's something that general audiences just don't know, is that sometimes the call is just up to the referee. Like, it might not necessarily be, like, there's not a correct necessarily call, right?
Well, and I think sometimes too, even on out of bounds, more often than not, the officials should probably, going by the rule, call a held ball, a jump ball instead of you know, making the call one way or the other, because there's some where, you know, you really probably couldn't see it. You know, do you agree with me on that or no?
I mean, usually when I can't see it, I ask you for help.
Yeah, ask the other person, and sometimes the other person doesn't really know. I mean, I think we saw that in the game with Mitch Jones when he was trying to challenge the call, and yeah.
Game 5, Thunder Spurs.
Chet, right?
Chet, it was off Chet's foot, yeah.
Tony Brothers asked Slot for help. I can't remember who it was.
He was Trail, James Capers.
No, but Tony Brothers from Lead asked whoever was at Slot, because Trail was James Capers, who was getting yelled at by Mitch. Anyways, but he was, yeah, he asked Slot, and then Slot said that way, and he was definitely wrong. And then there was a whole debacle of him trying to
Technical fouls, yeah.
technical. And
So when you do make a tough call, obviously sometimes the fans don't really like it. So how do you handle some of that pressure when the fans are like yelling at you and swearing and stuff?
First off, is there any anxiety that comes after you make a tough call where you say, "Oh, I don't know, maybe"?
I mean, I think rarely. To your question, rarely, and then with your question, when you have the whole stands, right, that's like upset, like that's like, in my opinion, the most energy that you feel in a basketball gym is after a bad call by a ref. You know, it's sometimes it's after a poster, or obviously if it's a game winner, that's going to be a little different. But like when you make a call that's like controversial, that's when all the energy comes in, and I kind of feed off that personally. It's like, it kind of like, you know, everyone's watching me. Hey, everyone's watching me. You know, I can feel it. I don't know. I feel like I got aura in that moment. So it's kind of like, that's when I'm the most confident. I was like, everyone's watching me. I just made that call. I'm confident about it. Let's roll. Like, that's what I feel the best inside and the most confident is when I've got everyone, all the energy, and it's all shifted towards me, towards hate at me, that kind of thing. So.
Do you ever get like worried, like you have a really tough call to make, you're not really sure, maybe you didn't make the right call there, and then everyone's angry? Do you ever be like, oh shoot, like I don't feel so good right now? Or is it all just like, I'm confident with my call and we're gonna move on?
You know, in those situations, self-talk is super important. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I may have kicked that one, you know, but hey, we're gonna get the next one. I'm gonna focus on my body language right now because I know a lot of people are looking at me. You know, if it's a media game, the camera might be on me at that time, you know, so let's not catch myself, you know, cursing myself under my breath. Because if it's like a high school game, I might do that, you know, but That's something I'm trying to work on getting out of my system. But then obviously, like, if someone's gonna ask me about it, you know, I'm transparent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, from my perspective, this is what I had. You know, if you had something different, that's cool. Like, that's just from the look I had. That's the decision I came up with. So, and I'm not one that, like, I do have arrogance, and I'm cocky for sure. But, like, in those situations, it's okay to be like, I'm okay with, like, being like, hey, I might have kicked that call. You know what I'm saying? It's like trying to be confident without being too cocky type of thing. And I feel like that's something I've been able to master pretty well at this point in my career.
Yeah, well, and as you move up in the leagues, all these coaches, they can just look at the instant replay and know whether you're lying out of your butt or not, you know. And so yeah, I think there's a good line of confidence and being sure, telling the coach that you're sure.
You never want to be like, hey, I 100% got that right too. You never want to say that, because I've had calls where I've totally felt like, hey, I 100% got that one right. Looking at the film the next day is like, holy cow, I can't.
Ruin your trust with the coach because you know he looked at that night.
Yeah, you never want to ruin that relationship for sure. So,
what might surprise someone the most about officiating in general? What's the thing that might surprise someone the most?
that's a great question, because early in my career, I thought that there wasn't that big of a gap, you know, between me and the top of the industry. You know, when I was kind of starting to first work varsity games, it's like, oh, 3-man system, you know, I'm kind of picking this up. This is easy, you know, how do people miss calls all the time? You know what I'm saying? And so, but I didn't realize I was reffing really easy, low-level varsity games at that time. And so,
1A Wayne
yeah,
versus Price
or all the little community schools here in the valley. But, like, something that I'd say is that would surprise people that they don't know is how far away someone is from a high school ref to an NBA ref, how big of a gap and how big of a learning curve that is, right? So there's thousands of different little tiny things that you could screw up that could ruin your entire game. And it's just kind of like mastering all those, getting all of those out of the system pretty much. Yeah, it's like there's so many things that you could screw up, and there's so many things you have to master and get down. And when you don't do one of those wrong, everything can hit the fan, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the learning curve between where you are as a fan to where the top guys are is like, it's crazy, man. There's so much to learn about the craft. So
you'd say they paid the guys at the top the big bucks for a reason?
Yeah, it's a full-time thing. Trying to, you know, it should be every day in the summer. It should be to be able to be at the top of your game, to have every little part of the rule down, what can be challenged, what can't, you know, what you can go to the monitor for. A lot of this stuff is hard to study, you know. It's a full-time, like, I probably do more studying in basketball than I did in school, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. They pay them for a reason.
Because you don't see them out there with the rule book like, oh, what are we allowed to do here? Like, they have it all in their head, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. You should put a rule book at the table. But nah.
That would be nice, you know, be able to just take that and
Yeah.
it would probably look bad with the confidence of the appearance, you know, for the fans and everything. But hey, get things right.
I feel like you'd get mixed results on that. You know, some people are like, "Oh yeah, he's just gonna get it right," and then some people it's like, "You don't know the rules."
He doesn't know that he has to go to the book.
Yeah. No, that would save us a lot of time if we could just open a book at the scores table. But no, we can't do that. A lot of study time goes into mastering that. So yeah.
So you're moving to Chicago.
I am.
What went into that?
Well, my wife's got a good career opportunity out there with dance. And so, yeah, we're going to chase it a little bit. You know, it's not a bad spot to be in for basketball. Utah's great and I love it. But, you know, when she got that opportunity and she was kind of starting to talk to me about it and we were exploring like, hey, like, do we want to make this jump? When I kind of started doing the research of all the small colleges that I could be working out there. And I was already working some of them, right? It's kind of became an easy decision. You know, we can work my way up to the Division I level and also have her do her thing out there. So
that's great. I feel like there's lots of basketball out there.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've talked to Hayden about this, right? So I mapped out. Yeah, he's from Chicago. Yeah, so we mapped out. Me and Hayden right now have, if we were on the RMX staff, which we're not, right? But if we would have 6 schools within 6 hours of us that we could work, right? We'd have 4 in the SWAC, and we've had 2 in the RMAC, right? In Chicago, where I'm moving to, there's like over 150 within 6 hours. So it's just like, just night and day, so many more games, so much more basketball. Because of that, you're provided with so much more opportunity. So
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm sure that'll be a great opportunity for you and your wife. So that's awesome. I'm glad you're pursuing that. Just to kind of like wrap up here, tell us a little bit about your TBL and USBL experience.
Oh, well, it's fresh, right? We've only been working it this year. This is our first year together. Apparently it's gone well because we're going to do the USBL tournament, including a semifinal here in 2 weeks in Seattle. Yeah. So, but really, I don't feel like the USBL and the TBL has had like a big learning curve, just because, you know, I've done a little bit of work in the pro game, just kind of, or at least not in the pro game, in the pro system. Prior to this, we'd go and work like the Powder League is local here to Utah, and that's all NBA rules, NBA mechanics. There's NBA guys that are watching that want us to get it right and look like we're reffing in the NBA. And so that it was just riding a bike when we hopped into the TBL and USBL. But yeah, it's cool. Like those guys act like, you know, they're pro, like they are pros. They're lower level on the professional side, but you know, they're just like we're trying to work our way to the higher level, the professional level. The coaches are trying to work up, right? The players are trying to.
It's a resume builder.
Yeah, exactly. It's a building block. It's a league of, they call it like the league of opportunity for the USBL or whatever. So it really is a building block for coaches, players, refs. If someone's good enough, you know, at their craft, if someone's winning games a lot with their X's and O's, then a coach is going to be able to have the opportunity from the TBL or USBL to go work higher level, right? And same with us, like. If we do a good enough job reffing these games, if they're difficult, like it's going to get noticed, and we're going to have opportunities to ref at the professional level. And also, like, they've put tons of guys in the NBA from those leagues, so it's kind of like a step below the G League where guys can have the opportunity to show what they can do. And yeah, so it's been great experience in it. It's been some tough physical basketball, and we're going to have it even tougher these next couple weeks. I'm going to Seattle tomorrow, or Portland tomorrow, but. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to Seattle. But, like, it's going to be, now that we're in the postseason, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So, you know, I'm mostly just excited to continue to learn, continue to have those experiences, because they're going to challenge us for sure. I know I'm going to be uncomfortable, right? Probably the most uncomfortable I've been in the past year when it comes to refereeing was when I was in the TBL. You know, we had a tough game, and a lot of people were hot. I was throwing technical fouls. So, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Keep getting those learning experiences, those the uncomfortableness.
Yeah, got to be uncomfortable, so you're not going to grow. Yeah, totally.
Well, before we wrap it up, I got one more question for you. Kind of more of a favorite question. Like, what would you say your favorite call to make is? Like, what the motion?
Oh man, like the mechanic.
Yeah, I mean, well, the mechanic, kind of like, yeah. What when it happens? What's your favorite call?
My favorite call when it happens. Okay, it's a close block charge where I'm going block.
Hey, let's look at this. Here, you need to demonstrate.
You want me to stand up?
Yeah, let's demonstrate this. All right, here. Hey, we'll fix it all.
Okay, wait. So here's the question. Is it going to be like when I'm in a women's game, or is it going to be like when I'm in a pro game?
Hey, both.
Both. One women's game first, right?
Yeah, let's see this. All right.
Hang on, I gotta get this line.
So you're the defensive player that's trying to take a charge that's not legal position.
Not legal position. All right, coming in. Boom. Ooh.
You want me? Okay. Boop. Block.
That's it. That's it.
Well,
I'm gonna go. Boom.
Block. You know, but if it's the pro game, they like the pause, right? So if it's the NBA, and I'm not gonna post, right? Or no, I am gonna post.
No,
I'm not going to post. See, this is good. I'm getting my rules, right? So close block charges are coming in. I'm kind of just standing here. I want to be chill, right? I'm not going to move.
Dude, what about the guys that'll come in, you know, Tony Ford or Joey Crawford, you know? Get the little hip action. Come on.
The thrust, like the...
Thrust.
What's his name on the...
Hey, get in here, Ethan.
Oh, I'm on the camera over here. Do you want me? There's not space in the shot over there.
Is he going to come ref? Is that what's going to happen?
Hey, we're trying to get him.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Hey, we're trying.
Get the little thrust in there. Poof. No, that's funny.
Boom.
That's how you get fired.
Hey, show us your travel.
No, dude, you got to get the hip action, like the, you know what I'm saying?
I've seen that the ref in the Philippines or whatever. Yeah. I always see that video on my feed. And it's an instant watch every time. It's so funny.
Hey, you used to go hit like that.
Well, that's Nate. Nate Searley. How do you say his last
Nate
name
Searley,
again?
whatever.
Is it Searley? I was at a camp and he's like, I was kind of doing this or whatever. He's like, come out and do this.
Not gonna lie, that looks ugly.
That I don't like that.
Sorry, Nate, but I've taken.
You got to do the on the arm, yeah.
Get a bruise.
You ever do like the charge when you get like the steps into it?
Yeah, no, actually, most of my charges, boop, 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 off it.
Oh.
Hey, are you gonna take the punch out ever? You're gonna go?
No. Not taking
You
the punch
like
out.
the punch, huh?
I need the punch in there. Yeah.
Because the women's always likes to punch.
Yeah, gotta stay with that.
Hey, you know what I'm grateful for? The men's game in college, you know, they're starting to allow kind of a little punch action. You don't really necessarily have to put your.
I was talking about this with someone actually a
Talking
lot.
Chad,
You know, no, not with Chad, but like someone on Rough Masters. I think they were talking about how the men's game's becoming a lot more fluid. They used to be, you were not allowed to walk while you were reporting a foul, which is what you were doing in women's, and now they all do that. And then now they're not all putting their hands up anymore, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the men's games becoming a little bit.
it's making good strides for sure. So.
I didn't know you couldn't walk when you're.
Well, they were super, like, in, like, old time high school people, they were like, you're going to run, you're going to come to a stop, and you're going to say, white 10, hold, and then you're going to go, you know? It's like, it looked so robotic.
Is that because like the cameras couldn't move a lot, or is it?
Well, it's not on
I
camera.
just
It's
want to make sure that they see it.
the table that everyone knows, like, so they don't want you moving, all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. It was stupid.
But yeah, now, I mean, you used to, if you were on the baseline, you're going that way, you'd have to run all the way to the table, report, run all the way back to the baseline, and then you could go. Yeah, but now you're just 32, hold, right here, start. So it's evolved. It's
Making strides for sure, making it easier on us. So,
Well, that's great.
Hey, we want to thank you for hopping on. It's always a pleasure having you, Nate.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we'll get you on another day.
yeah, if I'm back in town, for sure.
Hey, thanks again, Nate, for joining us. Good luck in Chicago, and we'd love to have you on another time if it works out. But until next time, I'm your host, Hayden.
And I'm also your host, Ethan Tanner. We'll see you next time on the Call It Both Ways podcast.